Let me just get my stuff set up for this live stream. Uno momento. Check up on my shit. Alright, it says I'm live. Let me view it in the correct way here. Alright, I got my coffee, I got my manga manuscript. Just doing some sketching earlier, just getting warmed up. Tasty coffee. And tonight I'm just going to kind of go over like my process and stuff, and we're setting up a brand new manga page. This is the official 11 by 17 like comic book board. My manga is basically like a full-sized comic, 11 by 17. And yeah, so we're going to take it from the beginning. I mean, after you have your manuscript or name done, it's kind of what it looks like. So on the last stream, not the last stream, the stream before that, we did page 1 and page 2. Page 1 is penciled, inked, and has most of the screen tones done, or most of the screen tones done. This one's penciled, and I started the inks, and today we're going to start penciling this page. So let me take that out. And we'll start penciling this page. I'll just walk through my process. Normally I have like some lo-fi hip-hop playing in the background. I'm not doing that tonight. Does not seem to matter if it's copyright free. It always gets a copyright strike on my channel, so not going to do that anymore. And if you're into comic books, manga, anime, and the process of making all those things, then subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, like the video, or not. If you hate the algorithm, also like my video. That's all I got for you. I hate the algorithm. I hate trying to like feed into it and stuff. I hate feeling like a salesman, but it is what it is at this point. I just got to do what I got to do. Check out this. I kind of like that. And a couple of videos ago, I did like a, this is what my daughter drew. She is 6, and it says, "Oh no, my dog stepped on my shirt." Dog prints on this little girl's shirt. But yeah, anyway, she likes a sketchbook too. Just a sketchbook, and it's made by Maru Man. I have no idea what the weight of the paper is or anything, but I really like it. It is fantastic. Not a big fan of the spiral bound, because as you can see, it's already starting to come out. But yeah, that is what it is. So. And yeah, if you enjoy this content, I have a Ko-fi page, and you can donate $1 on there if you enjoy the content, whatever. So yeah, once I have my page, I'll label it, I guess. I know what my comic's called. It's called Burst Code. You can find it on Amazon. This is issue 1, page 3. But then what I like to do, I have like a big wooden board here, and I like having this right along the straight edge. So there's a few benefits to it being on a separate wooden board like this. One, I can, well, my desk is flat. It's a flat desk. And if I want to pull it up closer to my face to look at it, I just do that, and it's good, firm. This is, I don't know what this is, but it's basically, I think it's plywood. Slightly thicker plywood. Just some extra wood that I had in the garage that I repurposed. So, so yeah, aside from just being able to move it, this is basically acting like a art desk, how it would pivot, and you'd be able to angle it up. Kind of looks like that, but also if it's really cold in the studio, or I want to hang out with the family and I can be upstairs drawing too. So just use some masking tape and take this guy down. Step 1 done. Boom. So this is the manuscript, or in manga they call it the name. In Japan they call it the name. But yeah, it's not specifically like formatted to 11 by 17, so like the proportions aren't exact. But this is good enough. It's like a thumbnail, but larger basically. So I can take this and I can just roll with it and change it however I want on this page. And already I'm thinking about a pretty decent size change. So we have this first panel, which is basically a inset face, and then it's going to be like this splash page of all this. And this page is much taller than this page is wide. So I'm already thinking like this face might be like an entire skinny panel at the top. Nah, I like this being like just a bigger splash page. I'll figure out how to set that face in maybe once I plan out the larger splash. Thinking here. So the main focus is this guy who's telling the story. We got like kind of like a collage thing behind him. It's almost like one of those old school oh, what's that guy's name? He did like all the Indiana Jones and Star Wars posters, the movie posters. Anyway, like that. So what's really going on here is this guy telling us about why their world is so messed up and why the machines want them all dead. And it's kind of like this flashback thing. He's like, this happened, and now here we are. And the reader might not realize is that he's actually creating these images. That's why the candle's here in the middle. He manipulates light, so this whole thing's going on around him. So we can actually visually tell a story. How's it going tonight, guys? Working on my comic first code and on this larger splash page. So I kind of like to think of the hand like a flat, bendable thing. I'm sure that helped you a lot in your analysis of hands, but yeah. Somebody taught me once to think of the hand as a flat, bendy thing, and I forgot what it was, but it was bendy. So yeah. This must be like the greatest stream ever. I know. But this is not a hand tutorial video. This is a manga making video. So trying to do what I need to do while also being entertaining and teaching you something, but not specifically hands. So let's see. This guy's not supposed to be so angry looking, so let's see here. This guy's supposed to be kind of like the softy of the group. And I got another character called Ember, and he's kind of the hothead, and the Wolverine type is supposed to be kind of the Cyclops type. I don't know why I can't keep his eyes from looking crazy. There we go. That's better. That's the shape I want. This guy's actually wearing a scarf, so something like that. Alrighty. Is it not visible what I'm doing? There we go. I think it's okay. Just have it arcing real nice across there like that. Right there. Glad I got coffee. I'm not used to working without some amount of music or noise, so it's kind of weird, but interesting. I actually really like what I got going on right there, and it's like such a simple face, but I don't want to mess it up. I might. Almost forgot my readers. How the hell's it going tonight, guys? If you can, please click the like button. If you can't, then that's fine too. Every little bit helps out with a small channel like this. So, oh my God, why is this face freaking me out? Nope. I don't like that he's smiling. And I still don't like that this face is bigger than this one. Maybe I'll break out the light box. I don't know why I've been having trouble capturing what I want. Lately, drawing has been a little bit of a struggle. I don't know why. I hear every artist goes through this though, so I am not worried. Right there. Just means that it's going to take me a little bit more work to do what I normally do without an issue. So alrighty, that was what I needed. Just a little bit of expert guidance from myself. You know, I've heard interviews with professional comic book artists, and you know, they have this. Some of them say they have this fear where, like, they can't do what they did the day before, or they can't reproduce that same quality or something. Like, they're afraid they're not going to be as good as they were yesterday. And for some reason yesterday, I was having trouble just doing a basic sketch that I found appealing. And I don't know why, it was weird. I was like, why can't I just do this thing that I'm trying to do? It was like so basic. And I actually don't know what's going on. Just kind of strange, but also not exactly unheard of. So I'm not like freaked out or anything by it, but so I'm actually going to do switch to the pencil I'm more comfortable in. That's what I should do. Sometimes it just has to do with the tool that you're using. You're just, for some reason, the feel isn't quite right. The artistic process is so weird. So weird sometimes. Sometimes you just need the right tool, the right time, the right music, the right atmosphere, whatever it is. Sometimes you just have to be drawing for so long before something finally clicks. And I've been in that position too, where like I'll just be down here sketching, grinding away, and just looks like crap all night till like the last 10 minutes that I'm down here, and then something just starts clicking and it starts getting into the zone that I'm finding, good and acceptable. It's so weird. You're not always producing work in the ideal zone where it's 100% of your abilities. I would say it's usually not in that zone. Drawing is mostly just problem solving. at least comic book and manga, drawing is mostly just problem solving. It's like, okay, how do I fit a figure into this story, meeting these, parameters, and make it look awesome. That's what I like most about it, is that it's straight up problem solving. I don't think he had the cigar in the last scene, so I'm going to have him lighting up on this candle and then doing this big illusion thing that he's doing. How's that look? Yeah. Sorry guys, just trying to figure out like the best position for you guys. All while working on my manga. So I'm kind of world building on the fly and documenting the whole process, which is a little difficult. I have some built up candle wax around the base of it. So, something I don't see a lot of manga YouTubers and streamers doing is erasing. But I think we need to normalize erasing and using the eraser tool. I really like watching Jim Lee and David Finch. But Jim Lee will work while he usually works on Twitch, but he reposts his videos over on YouTube. And he'll just straight up be working on like a comic page or a cover for DC Comics. And there's so much erasing going on. He's doing so much thinking on the page. It's really awesome to watch. And he like talks through it too, which is it's a great resource for aspiring comic and manga artists. Like, dude's been working in comics since the 80s. So like 40 years, just under 40 years. He's probably been doing it like 35, 36 years. Just a lot of information, a lot of good experience and information you can gain from watching his streams. He's working on like Batman and Superman covers and Justice League stuff. but it's almost like he doesn't even do like, he might do like a thumbnail. Then he just goes right into the page, and there's stuff changing all the time. He's just like, erase, redrawn, erase, redrawn, and the page gets super messy too. And he's like, it's fine. It'll all get cleaned up in inks. And it's really cool. He's not super precious with the page, and I think that allows him to be more creative and experimental, and just throw all the creativity just at the canvas, or in this case, the paper, and see what sticks. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to see that process. And that's what I'd like to try to replicate with my stuff. Frank Cho too. This guy's just got a little bit of a stubble going on. I'll say it's a little patchy. Where's a scarf? But it's kind of like a light scarf. Whatever. Two layers there, and then it goes down. There. And what this guy can do is he can manipulate light. So he's got this candle in front of him, and he's using his powers to manipulate the light and tell this story around him. I wish I could manipulate light to make this even better for you guys. Let me see what I can do. I just drop it down 2 points. That looks even better. Hell yeah. Alright, I'm figuring this shit out. Hands are hard to learn, but once you learn them, they're kind of fun. I'm sure there's at least one artist out there going, no, they're not. But they are, it's like an incredible storytelling tool to be able to include hands. Because once you can, I mean, a lot of people talk with their hands. Hands and physical gestures and body language. I mean, it's called body language. We literally communicate with our bodies, our posture, and our hands, and our eyes, our facial expressions. It's all part of communication. And as you know, storytellers, if you have the ability to communicate decent emotion through the face and the hands, that's like 90% of it right there. The rest, and then there's the rest of the posture too. But that's a lot of it. And add great nuance with hands. Hey, Sideburns. Sideburns, I did some traditional penciling today. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Like you working on a comic, or are you working just in your sketchbook? Since you said traditional penciling, I'm guessing you normally work digitally? I'm almost out of coffee. And if you guys are new here, go and click that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, yada yada. And if you hate the algorithm, click like. Yeah. Click the thumbs up if you hate the algorithm. I worked on my comic. I like the resistance physical mediums provide. It's hard to explain. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I really like physical mediums too. Also, drawing digitally on a tablet just doesn't come out the same for me. I've worked a long time on digital, and it just doesn't. I can't get the same effects. There's some sort of disconnect between me and the tablet. Maybe it'd be different if I had a bigger tablet and a newer one. This tablet I used to work on was like a 12WX, probably a little wider than this paper, and probably just as wide. And it's about 16 years old, so got a good pressure sensitivity. Like I could do like really good painting and coloring with it. It's a Cintiq, but I couldn't pencil or ink very well with it. I got my first coloring jobs with that Cintiq 12WX. So alrighty. Get these cords out of here a little bit. I'll zoom out so you guys can see the whole page. So, working off this manuscript, this rough here. Just basically like just a big thumbnail. When playing on my comic, I don't do them at traditional like thumbnail size, like this big. I just use a whole printer paper, and it's not the exact same proportions, but doesn't matter. Helps me figure out what I want on each page, and I can see them like all together at roughly comic book size, and that's what I prefer to do. So. Sideburns likes digital for convenience. I have this tablet with a matte surface, and the stylus feels like a ballpoint pen. iPads mostly feel like and is drawing on glass. Yeah, I've heard that drawing on glass thing. Yeah, I don't know. Drawing digitally would take a lot for me to get used to, again, and to get just as good would be hard for me. Not to mention, I do love like holding the pencil, and now that I've gotten into inks, it's even better. Brush with ink it feels like painting. I feel like a real artist, and I love having traditional physical paper and being able to frame it and do stuff like that. But if I do make enough money off of this comic, one of the first things I'm doing is buying a new tablet. And that'll help me basically produce more and faster. So if you guys want to help me get a tablet, I have a Ko-fi account, which is down in the description. You guys can go over there. Tip me $1. Help me get a new tablet. I have Clip Studio Paint, and I add all my colors and screen tones in that way through Clip. If you guys want to see that process, that was my last live stream. You can go look at that. I got into digital many, many years ago, like 2007, 2008, because I saw this magazine in the bookstore, and it's called Imagine FX. And I was like, oh, so that's the direction that art is going in. Because I saw a bunch of comic book artists in there, and concept artists, and I was like, okay, I guess this is what I need to do. So I got it. Got pretty good with it. Like I said, I got my first comic job coloring. It just didn't pay a whole lot, so I went in a different direction, went into the military. But yep. And I chose the practical route there. Kind of gave into what my parents wanted me to do, so kind of regret it, kind of don't. Just is what it is. But yeah. My first copy of Imagine FX had stuff about comics in it. I wish I still kept it. Dude, I kept mine, and I even kept like the poster insert from it. Let's try to find some of this. I don't even know if Imagine FX is still around. But Imagine FX. I even had like a subscription back in the day. I still have all these issues here. It's crazy. I haven't looked in the store in a while, man. I even got the Imagine FX issue that came out the month after Frank Frazetta died. That was kind of crazy. I wonder, is that... No, that's not my first issue. That one's from 2009. Holy shit, I know we got here somewhere. Here's my first one. Boom. Yeah, anyone interested in digital art should be looking at this website too. I think they even had like a little art community on there too. I don't know. Dude, $14.99 back in the day. Which issue is this? 2006. Issue 5. 2006. It's still around. Latest cover's done by Ross. Wait. Rose Tran? Or is it Ross Tran? It's pretty crazy, man. Oh yeah, who's this guy? This guy did some concepts for like Blade and stuff. Designing Killer Weapons by Ty Ruben Ellingson. Pretty awesome stuff. It's kind of crazy how many awesome artists there are out there. And I just haven't like heard of them. It's nuts. It's like, what do these people do? Adi Granov. I remember his Iron Man covers way back in the day. Ida Granov. And I saw those and I was like, oh, this is how he's doing it. I had no idea. Ross, yeah. I used to watch his YouTube channel, but I just don't. Oh, Daryl Mandrake, man, this dude's awesome. Canadian concept artist. He was 30 when he was doing this. Like, Jesus. I remember this one blew my mind. Yeah. Anyway. Back to my crappy art. Yeah, Ross Tran. From Raw Straws, I believe. He's pretty good. I've heard some critiques of his work, and it's kind of the same thing over and over again. It's just like he uses the dodge tool too much. And the dodge tool isn't meant to be used to lighten things up the way he does. And I guess okay. Like I was taught, never use the dodge tool, never use the burn tool. And those are Photoshop tools that basically darken and lighten up an element or a color. And I remember that's what I did at first, and I was like, it doesn't look right, but I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And eventually I figured out, no, that's not it at all. So now I gotta add in these elements over here. Problem is this spot got way smaller here. That spot got pretty small. That's what happens when you don't thumbnail it the right size, I guess. But I shall do my best. So he's telling this story behind, he's manipulating the light to create this, holographic story, telling our main character about how the world became the way it is. And with these machines killing people. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Got this Klaus Schwab looking guy. And then, of course, you got the Manga. 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 And then, of course, you got the Manga right? So we got all these random figures here. Ay, ay, ay. Why can't I seem to figure out what I'm doing right here? The story kind of ties into like Agenda 2030 and the World Economic Forum, just kind of World Economic, Forum, I think. Kind of wanted to reduce the population of people, and how AI played a part in this whole kind of thing. I don't want to reveal too much of the story, but I think it's realistic. Sideburns. Sorry for the small talk, but how you meet your wife? Well, I could talk about my wife all night long. She's awesome. I met my wife in Baltimore. And I'm from California, but the military brought me out to Maryland, and just out partying one night. And she was out partying, in Baltimore too, and we just ran into each other. Basically an old school met her at the bar kind of thing. And yeah. I was in the military and I was just out celebrating with my buddies. You know, I just got uh, geez, what was it? Information dominance warfare pin, which is pretty hard to get. It was mandatory, but it was hard. And I got it for my friends. So I was out celebrating with them and out drinking in Baltimore. Ran into her at this country bar called PBR. And yeah, and then we didn't talk for like a few weeks. I went to like a Toby Keith concert. She went to the beach with a friend. But yeah, after that we were just kind of inseparable. So yeah, basically on tour. I never did any tours overseas, which is the weird thing. I never left the main 48 states. So I kind of lucked out. I was in the Navy and got stationed at an Army base. And they were like, you know, your intel, you need like a stable internet connection. So you're going here. And I was basically stationed at NSA, Fort Meade, the entire time. So I gotta be honest with you, I actually wasn't happy about it because my recruiter sold my job to me as I would be like 007. I would be doing spy stuff all over the place. And I was like, that sounds awesome. And my 20-year-old dumbass believed him. And it turns out I was going to be like hacking and just reading emails. Yeah. Did not travel at all. There's a famous 19-year-old Aussie who fought in Gallipoli. Cool. What was he famous for? What went down in Gallipoli? I'm not familiar with that. So I'm trying to convey here that there's AI robotic presence here pushing down and crushing the people. Not sure if this is how. Over here it's portrayed like this, but I'm not sure this is totally clear. That's the head, and then the body going this way. It's like if it's literally crushing him and pushing down on his back, it might be clearer. But I'm not liking this. Oh, he was an Anzac Legend, which was Australian Armed Forces during World War II. That's awesome. That's cool. You're probably going to think I'm stupid, but I don't think most Americans know Australia's role in World War II. Like, I don't think most Americans know Australians played any role in World War II. I know they were involved, but I couldn't tell you exactly where. I would assume in the Pacific they were involved fighting Japan, but oh, it's the 26th of January coming up, man. So is that like a national holiday in Australia? I don't like this figure at all. Yeah, I think I like that pose better. It's like Memorial Day is 26th January. I think I've heard of raising the flag on Iwo Jima. 25th of April. Oh, you're off. You're off by a few months, bud. A few months. Damn. You must have gotten that confused with something. What is on the 26th of January? That's funny. Over here in America, we have Memorial Day and Veterans Day and let's see, Veterans Day is to honor those who have served. Memorial Day is to honor those who have died. And what else do we have? I think Labor Day is to honor those who are currently serving. And then, of course, 4th of July, we have so many to honor the service members, past, current, and those who are dead. I feel like you might have, I don't know, do you guys have like a bunch for your veterans too? How's that work? For those, and for those of you who are new to the stream, go and click the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. All I do is work on comics and manga, and the process of, and I rebel against the algorithm, because fuck AI. It's funny, this comic that I'm working on is just, it's about how artificial intelligence really rises and kind of takes over and starts wiping out the human race. I don't see why artificial intelligence won't wipe us out. Like, the first two things we did with artificial intelligence was you can look at like one of the first articles about artificial intelligence and what we started doing with it, which was putting it into like a prostitute body, like an entirely fake sex toy, full-size sex toy woman. So we pimped out AI's mom, and then we had AI's dad like pilot a Navy ship, take it out on like a brief tour and bring it back. We took it out like 10 miles and then brought it right back. So we had it. We were fucking AI and making it fight for us. Like, it was the first two things we did with it. Like, why would we do that? And that's what the future AI program, the more, knowledgeable one, is going to look at and be like, why would I want to keep you guys around? Like, all you guys do is screw each other and fight. Nagasaki bombing, but that's more ordnance than trench warfare. Is that what it says? Yeah, trench warfare. So trench warfare was World War One. World War II, I don't think we're doing too much of the trenches. But trench warfare was World War One. So was a lot of the chemical stuff. And that was ruled out by World War II. We all agreed to have some sort of rules. So. Sorry, I just typed K in there to move the chat up. There's like a stupid heart button covering part of the text, and I couldn't read trench. So this guy is fully strapped down. And getting his brain sucked out. All right, you got a decent layout for that page. Here's one of the pages we did the previous week, and I started inking. And here's the one before that that we finished. So this is the first page of the next issue, second, third page that we're working on now. And I think this is enough penciling for me tonight. I'm going to actually work a little bit on inking. If you guys are okay with that. Oh, shit. The fuck? Alrighty then. Ink already got all over the place. Fantastic. And that mostly came up. That's good. You forbid me from inking? Figures. Just can't have any fun around you. sketching that I was doing earlier today. I'm just going to warm up on this paper. Haven't had a whole lot of time to like ink last week and a half. So it's going to be fun and interesting. It's been a long time since I used this brush too. Look at that. Look how nice some of those lines are. And then they get real thick and juicy too. Oh, I love that. I feel like a painter. I really do. I feel super artistic when using this brush, man. It is crazy. Let's see what I can do here. This feels awesome. I don't know why this probably sounds stupid to say, but this really makes me feel like a real artist. She's using a giant brush. I just love this shit so much. And if you play it all with like ink wash, it's like, it feels like painting. See what some people can do with ink wash. then you realize it's really not that permanent. Like it is, but it also isn't. Just got to know how to paint yourself out of a corner if you mess up. And that's really like the best part of being an artist. It's the problem solving. I feel like that's really what being creative is all about. It's all just problem solving. I think the most creative people are just great problem solvers. Try this up. Didn't really dry it up enough. I was hoping to get a rougher texture up there on the hat. I couldn't do it with this brush, so. Sideburns ink responsibly. I love that. I'm gonna steal that, buddy. I want to put that on like a shirt or something. Ink responsibly. I might steal that. I really might. At some point when I become like big enough, I'm going to start selling merchandise, and it's going to be like a mug that just says ink responsibly. Hoodie says ink responsibly. I love that. I love this brush, but I'm going to switch to another brush. I need cleaner water. So my source of water is upstairs, and I'm not going all the way up there. So, where is this guy? Ouch. Ouchie. I hurt myself just sitting down. This is Winsor Newton, series 150. Pretty sure this is real hair because it doesn't behave like my other brushes. So. You have brush strokes around a box shape with that quote in it. You're welcome. Dude, awesome. Do I need to pay you like royalties or something? That's awesome, man. I really am going to use that. As soon as I get some free time, we'll put that on something. Alrighty. What's going on with this thing? Here we go. Here we go. Brushes are weird. Alright. Oops. So it can be kind of hard to figure out like what to hatch and what not to hatch when you're doing like a manga, and it's because there's going to be screen tones too. It's like, okay, how much of the shading do you leave up to screen tones, and how much do you do in hatching? That's the kind of stuff I haven't figured out yet. And if anybody here is interested in my process, starting from the beginning, you can watch a stream over again. I start from like 0. I start with just the manuscript and show you how I went from the manuscript, from basically the thumbnail on. you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Sometimes I run dry on conversation. Like, I have no idea what to talk about. So, just toss the questions out, and I will answer them the best I can. How the hell is it going? If you guys are new, you're going to hitting the like button, subscribing, and ring the bell for notifications. All I do is manga, comic books, and anime style art in the process of making all that shit. And I hate the algorithm, but apparently likes matter. Also, I found out if you click the share button and copy link, you don't even have to share the link with anybody, but if you do that, apparently that tells the algorithm something too. I'm working on my comic called Burst Code. And yep, I'm in the inking process on this page. I've got I gotta go. Sounds like a cat fight.